everybody, Josh12 back again with another video. I'm here with another Dragon Ball Super review. Episode 88, titled Gohan and Piccolo, Teacher and Pupil Clash in Max Training. If you've not seen this episode, please check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But with that being said, let's get into the episode at hand. Now, this is the big Gohan and Piccolo training episode, an episode that all of us Gohan fans and Piccolo fans have been looking forward since the beginning of time. Gohan stinks. We have to fucking embrace the fact that he sucks. He's a terrible character in Super. Ironically enough, Piccolo is also a terrible character in Super. They have done nothing of promise, they have showed nothing of promise rather, and they have done nothing of actual relevancy. If you're not Goku or Vegeta or Beerus and Whis, or some character in between, you pretty much suck on this show. And Gohan and Piccolo have done nothing of worth. Sure, there have been some filler episodes of The Great Saiyaman, which were fun, it was cute, but that was family bullshit. We need to get to brass tacks. We need to know who the fuck is the big man on campus, who can still bring it, who can still fucking do shit, because you know what? The universe is at stake, and that's what this episode's all about. And I'm here to say, I fucking love the shit out of it. Gohan and Piccolo's training episode was amazing, and it was great for very specific reasons. Sure, Gohan is a very strong character, and Piccolo's also a very strong character. The big question is, why would Piccolo and Gohan train again in such a limited amount of time, of course? Well, apparently we find out in the episode that Goku had informed Piccolo in a flashback sequence. I don't know where Goku had the time in between fucking meeting up with Krillin, Majin Buu, and Android 17. However, he found some time to meet up with Piccolo, endorse him for the Tournament of Power, and of course, pretty much tell him, hey, my son sucks. Can you help him out? And that's what we're at in this episode. Piccolo trained Gohan. They have these very epic training sessions out in the mountains and what have you, which was pretty cool. And we get to figure out Piccolo's insight on Gohan and how he views him as a fighter and how he views his abilities and his warriorship and how strong Gohan can or cannot be. And it was very cool to see that because even though the big ongoing joke in the fandom is that, oh, Piccolo is the true father of Gohan, I never really view it that way because I kind of always find that incredibly disrespectful to say in any kind of way. But it is an ongoing meme of the show that they embrace. However, I think it fits very much here because even though Piccolo may not be the greatest teacher for Gohan at this stage in his life, I think the great thing about what Piccolo does do as a fatherly figure, so to speak, and as a master of martial arts is pick out the flaws of Gohan's fighting prowess, which I thought was really good and very well done in this episode. Gohan is a very strong person. I think the great thing is that Piccolo may not be stronger than Gohan. However, Piccolo is a good background character, and because of his many years of being a background character, was capable of picking out the negative aspects of Gohan's character as a fighter. Not as a person, but as a fighter. And he basically, at face value, points it out to Gohan. Piccolo basically tells Gohan that you fight for other people and you're too eager as a fighter. And this is the problem. And I thought that was really, really cool that they did that because even though that's the one aspect that Gohan fans and most fans of Dragon Ball have always loved Gohan about, but it's the one aspect that's always really gotten him nowhere as a warrior. And that's something that Piccolo points out to him, which is, it's good to fight for other people, and I'm paraphrasing it of course, but it's good to fight for other people, but it's also good to want to fight. You gotta be in the actual fight, and that's the problem with Gohan. He's fighting for other people, but what he should be worried about is fighting for himself, being in love with the actual fight, because even though we can get swept up in this over-the-top battle between Jugheads, which has a lot to do with Dragon Ball Z, but for the most part, there is an art to fighting. There is an art in the technical aspects of fighting, and that's something that Gohan never really grasped on in the entirety of Dragon Ball, the series, which I thought was really fucking cool and insightful of Piccolo as a background character, so to speak, masterly telling you how much you stink and now you need to fix that shit. In the later half of the episode, when the training really kicks up, Piccolo brings up his fight with Super Bill. Very specifically and bluntly, because Gohan in that fight was at his peak. That was the strongest we ever saw Gohan in the entirety of Dragon Ball Z. However, he lost and was absorbed because he had his guard down, because he was too eager, because he was too cocky, and that was wrong of him. He should have really took the fight seriously. With the great power that he was given, he didn't take the fight seriously, and that's what another thing Piccolo does greatly. Once again, I don't get into those memes and those criticisms. I don't get into that shit. However, I will say something that Piccolo does very well as a master of martial arts is point out the flaws of Gohan's fighting ability and character, which he is not a true warrior, and that's something that needs to be fixed if he wants to fight in the tournament. With that being said, pretty much the overall fight of training ends with a really cool sequence. It's not animated perfectly. I wish Toy Animation, of course, brought in some better animators for this episode to get the full grasp of Gohan and Piccolo fighting, but there were a lot of really cool sequences, I will admit, like the fighting sequence in the rain, various cloned Piccolo's fighting Ultimate Gohan, and Gohan chopping off Piccolo's arm was really cool. And then Piccolo's arm, which I never really knew Piccolo could do. I don't think that's ever really addressed in Dragon Ball Z, which is, could Piccolo still use his severed limbs to fight if they were severed? That's kind of explained in this episode, which I thought was kind of cool. However, the big thing that really bugged me about it, and it's more or less a nitpick and it has nothing to do with the narrative, but the lack of gore and blood. I mean, Gohan technically broke off Piccolo's arm, but there's like no blood to it. I don't know what's with Super and their censorship. I don't know what it is. I haven't really read up on it, but I have to say, Super, in comparison to all of Dragon Ball Z and all of Dragon Ball, is very much lacking on blood and gore. I really don't get it what's with that. It's like comparing Halloween to Friday 13th. I mean, like, when you expect a guy to get his arm chopped off, you expect some blood and gore, but there ain't shit here, and I don't know why that is, but that's more or less a nitpick. The overall fight itself, Gohan retrieving his ultimate Gohan form, very cool stuff there, but for the most part, it's pretty much just a elongated training sequence to get out Piccolo's standpoint on Gohan as a warrior, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much after that, we do get more stuff in the episode, in between the Gohan Piccolo training sessions, like Krillin training with 18. We also get to see some cool stuff with Kaba, which was definitely world building. The lovable and overrated Kaba pretty much comes in, and obviously during a previous episode where Champa tells Kappa to go retrieve some more powerful Saiyans because obviously Kappa stinks. Kappa goes to what we can assume is Planet Sadal or Saddle. I know a lot of people have been debating on whether or not that is the same planet of Universe 6. It's never really explicitly said in the episode, so it's pretty much like take it with a grain of salt, but Kappa essentially goes to this planet to retrieve his old martial arts master and captain of their squadron, which is the character Renzo. Renzo is the old master of Kaba. However, he can't be a part of the tournament because of his leg being all fucked up. I'm guessing, like Kaba, a lot of Universe 6 Saiyans suck on ice, so they're pretty much weak. But Renzo can't really do it and encourages Kaba to retrieve his sister, which is the highly divisive and talked about and anticipated female Broly character. And we do get to see a little glimpse of her character, and we get her name, which is apparently Cauliflower. I don't know how to pronounce it the way the Japanese are doing it. I don't know if it's Caulifla or Cauliflower. I don't know how to pronounce it specifically. I have to hear her voice said a little bit more. But pretty much it's the female Broly character has a name. She finally has been given a name, and her name is Cauliflower. And she seems to be a gangster because she's fucking eating meat and fucking has a crew. She got a crew. She got a gang, and that's pretty cool. It's like very 80s. It's almost like the Warriors or some shit. It's fucking awesome. I love that shit. I know a lot of people are like, fuck female Broly, fuck Broly fans. I know the fandom's very divisive on Broly, but come on. We all wanted female Saiyans. She looks like a boss. Can we just accept the fact that it's them doing Broly-esque shit just cuz? Can we just accept it and move on? But overall, I'm highly anticipated for some epic female Super Saiyan action. That's all I really can say on the front. But with that being said, that's pretty much the episode. If there's any real negatives I had with the episode, it has to be two aspects. Other than my nitpick with the blood and gore, has to be the sequences over at Capsule Corp. There is a little intermission portion of the episode. I'm not a big fan of that sequence. I don't know what it is, but ever since the Brawl episode, I've had a very divisive opinion on everyone over at Capsule Corp. I don't know why. It's just like Goten and Trunks just annoy the shit out of me, especially Kid Trunks. I'm just like so bugged out by the kid. And then you have Vegeta, who's like, I'm an expert at diaper changing. Like, okay, sure, I guess I can buy into that. If the show Full House taught us anything, is that anybody can change a diaper. They may not be perfect, but they can change a fucking diaper. And Vegeta can do it, even though he's shown zero fucking fatherly prowess throughout the entirety of his run on the series of both Dragon Ball Z and Super. I guess I can buy it. I guess. Let's just leave it at that. But the big thing that really bugs me about this sequence has to be Beerus debating, talking about the wiping out of universes in this tournament. And he has like this weird vision of like Bulma getting like mad at him and him kind of getting scared. Here's my thing. I get it. It's an ongoing theme with the series of getting very tough, harsh, villainous characters to be soft. I get it. It's an ongoing theme that happens. We saw it with Tien, we saw it with Piccolo, we saw it with Vegeta, we even saw it with Majin Buu to an extent. I get that. But Beerus? Really? Really? We're gonna see that with Beerus? Beerus is a god of destruction, yet we're gonna see him get all, like, very scared of what Bulma, like, what will Bulma do if she fucking finds out? What will she do to me? It's like, I can forgive that shit when Bulma does that fucking shit with Goku and Vegeta. I can forgive it because it's fun and it's games. It's like, that's her husband, he's pussy whipped. I get it. I can get down with that. She does it to Goku. I get it. I can get down with that because Goku and Bulma have, like, this almost brother-sister kind of relationship, like this little brother big sister relationship, so I can forgive it when she does that shit to them. I get that. It's a gag. I get it. But when they do it to Beerus, it's like, Beerus is a boss. The fuck you, like, why are you so scared? It's like, first off, it won't even matter because all the universes are getting wiped out. And on the other hand, you can just like flicker away and she'll die. Like, why are you so scared of what Bulma would do? It's just, that kind of shit really bugs me. I don't know why. I get it's a fucking gag and I get that most fans, especially the Bulma fans, fucking love it. It's like, oh, she's fucking, you know, she's sassy. I love my women sassy. I get it. But I fucking bugs the shit out of me. Another thing that really bugged the shit out of me in this episode has to be the Yamcha shit. It was funny the first time toy animation, but you need to stop that shit. You need to stop it. You really, like, I don't know how you Japanese fucks made Yamcha cool again. You did it. Bravo on your part. You did it. You Japanese sons of bitches. You fucking did it. You made Yamcha cool again with the baseball episode and with his own spin-off manga, which is, I read it a while back ago, and it's really fucking good. You made Yamcha cool again. Why continue with these one-off jokes of Yamcha getting all excited over Goku inviting him for this tournament, even though we don't really know how he kind of knows about this tournament to begin with? Stop it. Just stop it. But with that being said, that's pretty much all my thoughts on episode 88. I liked it for what it was. The Gohan Piccolo stuff was very insightful, very cool stuff there, and everything else was either just subpar or just really bugged me. Let's just end this episode review off with my final verdict, which has to be a solid 8 out of 10. My solid final verdict for this episode is a 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the hell out of it. With that being said, let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I would really appreciate that if you would be so kind to subscribe to my channel. And this has been John12, and I hope you enjoyed.